I'm literally worn out from walking up the stairs. Welcome to my new life. Let's get these questions up and running. Haven't planned which ones I'm going to answer yet, actually. But there's a lot of FAQs, so we'll just answer the frequently asked questions. Okay. Hello, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel, potentially. I'm Jess, nice to see you. I thought I'd film this bit of an impromptu video because I'm actually planning on filming it, whacking it on my computer, editing it, shoving it up right now in real time. So I wanted to kind of answer the questions now before the rest of my pre-recorded videos go out. So I did vlog myself finding out that I'm pregnant. Oh, this is a pregnancy Q&A. You probably guessed by the title. Yeah, I also filmed telling my boyfriend, my fiance, I filmed telling my family. So yeah, lots of fun videos to come. But I thought before I post those, I thought I'd just answer all of the frequently asked questions, because when I did post our pregnancy announcement, which was a video that went up before this and posted it on Instagram as well, that's the most DMs I've ever had, like ever in my life. I had to literally sit down for an hour and just try and go through them, and it's really overwhelming, but really, really nice. Just thank you so much for all the support on my last video and just the support in general for this announcement. It is crazy, I almost can't really believe it myself, but it's just so lovely, some of the comments, like the nicest comments ever. So I just want to say thank you so much for the support, and you can support me further by subscribing and giving this video a like, because I guarantee you're going to enjoy it. But let's just dive straight in, answer the juicy, frequently asked questions. There's going to be a lot of juice in here. As you probably know, I'm an open book and I had lots of questions on the gram. So I'm going to go through the common questions, try and answer as many as I can, and then we can all be on the same page and we can all enjoy this journey together as the videos kind of progress and I get slightly larger. Do you know what? A lot of the questions that I had were, how are you feeling? Which was really, really nice. So thank you if you asked that. This week I feel really, really good. Ask me on a different day and my answer could be completely different, but today I'm feeling good. It has been a bit of a ride, but I did film a kind of first trimester video, which was just a few random clips through the first trimester, just updating on like some of my symptoms and how I was feeling. So you will get to see that, but I definitely feel like I'm past the worst of it now, ready for what the next few months have in store, and beyond, the next few years even. And the rest of my life, in fact. Wow. Okay, a very, very common question was, how far along are you? So I'm basically 16 weeks, which is really, really exciting. I guess that is just the answer to that question. Yeah, I'm 16 weeks. I know a lot of people will post that they're pregnant after their 12-week scan, but I don't know, I really didn't know what I would be like. If I was ever lucky enough to get pregnant, I didn't know what I would be like. I thought I might want to share it straight away, and then, if anything was to happen, then I'd want to share that too. But then when it kind of came down to it, and you're all very confused, and there's lots of emotions, and you're not really sure what's going on, and you can't quite believe it, and you don't really want to say it. I guess I just wanted to kind of go through the motions and just kind of be on this journey and just share when I felt ready. And yeah, I guess this week is when we both felt ready, and yeah, I'm 16 weeks, so yay. Okay, have you had any sickness or nausea? Any tips if you have? There was another question like that as well. I'm 8 weeks and really struggling with sickness and fatigue. How are you? Any tips? So yeah, I really did struggle, especially weeks 6 to 9. They were the worst weeks for me. That was actually when we were in New York. So sprinting to brunch whilst gagging was really, really fun. You wouldn't have seen that in the vlogs, but it was happening. I honestly just think every single person is different. No two people are the same. Some days I'd only feel sick when I woke up, and as soon as I ate, I'd be fine. Other days I'd feel sick all of the day, and even eating wouldn't even help. The fatigue was crippling, and you just can't really do much about it. Like, you just have to go with the motions. So the only advice I can give is just to do, it's not great advice, it's just to do what feels right for you. Like, only you know what's going to stop you feeling sick. Like, if it's sucking on a Tip Top, which is, I don't know if they call them Tip Tops everywhere, but it's like that ice lolly, that really helped me when I was feeling sick. But then straight after, I'd probably just feel sick again. And yeah, just feeling fatigued, you just have to ride it out. You just have to try and get on the sofa if you can. Hats off to you, anyone pregnant who's already got kids. Oh my gosh, you are super women, like Wonder Woman. The thought of having to look after a toddler with the way that I was feeling weeks 6 to 9, I don't know how you do it. Should we hug? Let's have a hug. You're doing great, sweetie. But yeah, tips, everyone's different. What works for some might not work for others. I personally needed like cold, fruity things. The thought of like coffee and stuff would just make me gag. So just ride it out. I think when you get to week 14, you should hopefully feel better, because that's what a lot of people told me, and then that was true for me as well. So hang in there, week 14, you'll be grand. Lots of questions about trying. Were we trying? Was it a surprise? All about conceiving. As I said, I am an open book. I've done lots of videos about my birth control. If you know, if you don't know, I was using Natural Cycles for 2 years. Natural Cycles is basically an app. You take your temperature every single morning, you input your temperature, you input your data, and then the algorithm tells you when you're fertile, when you're not fertile. So I haven't been on the pill for over 2 years, and that was my method of birth control. I'm not someone who will promote certain birth controls. Everyone's different. It's your body. You have to do what you want to do with your body. But if I'm just speaking personally for me, I personally think it is the greatest thing ever. Like, it was spot on with actually preventing us from getting pregnant. And then we did decide that we did want to start a family. And, you know, I always kind of thought, because it's such a specific window that you have, like that ovulation window on Natural Cycles, like I always would know when I was ovulating. So for me, usually I'd have about 80 to 90% non-fertile days in the month, and then I'd have about a 5 or 6 day window of fertile days, which would be red days, and on those days we would either abstain or use extra protection. The rest of the month we would just crack on as normal, if you know what I mean. But I always just kind of thought, well, it'd be really interesting to see if we did the opposite, how accurate that would be. And I honestly feel unbelievably grateful, and you'll see this in the next video. Just at the beginning of the video, I just kind of make a bit of a disclaimer, but honestly, sometimes the gratitude is overwhelming, and I've seen firsthand friends, couples, you know, the struggles of fertility. It's awful, and like my heart breaks for so many couples going through that. It must be all consuming, and I've heard that it is all consuming, and I don't want to make anyone feel disheartened when they watch my videos. I just want to talk about my personal experience and hope that it doesn't upset anyone. But for me, from using that app for 2 years and just knowing my cycle so well, I talk about my cycle all the time on Instagram, on here, like I'm very much a person who promotes really being as in tune with your cycle as possible. Yeah, I knew the day that I was ovulating, and we were extremely lucky that it worked. Everyone's different. That was just my experience. But yeah, it was planned, but it was still a massive surprise. Like, even though I kind of thought that it should work, because in my head I was thinking, well, unless either of us have, you know, an underlying kind of fertility problem, there's no reason why, seeing as we're always going to know the exact window of ovulation. Like, having that, you know, algorithm for 2 years, you know, it's a really robust amount of time. Like, my menstrual cycle was like clockwork. I was always really curious to know like what would happen if we did, you know, try it in that time. And yeah, just extremely fortunate. And now we have a baby on the way. So yeah, to answer that, it was planned. Okay, are you finding out the gender, or are you having a surprise? This is a good question. Again, how people cannot find out. Again, I take my hat off to you. Like, I don't know how you do it. It's all I think about. Is it a boy? Is it a girl? Phoebe or Phoebo? If you watch Friends. I'm like, trying to envisage my future life. I'm like, is it going to be a little princess going to ballet classes? Is it going to be like a smelly little boy that Jeff plays football with in the garden? I honestly, it drives me wild. So in answer to your question, yes, we are finding out very, very soon, because I am 16 weeks, and if you know, you know, we will be finding out. I'm very much looking forward to it. I hope you are looking forward to it too. Okay, a lot of questions about my first signs and symptoms. One of them says, what was your first symptoms? Congratulations. And then one of them said something like, what were the symptoms that made you take a test somewhere? Obviously, I was planning on taking a test after that window of trying, but it was very much just like my normal luteal phase PMS symptoms. So as I said, my menstrual cycle was like clockwork. So all it was normal luteal phase symptoms for me. So increased hunger, a little bit more mood swings, slightly less energy. To be honest, the very, very early signs, that was it. So it was very, very confusing, as it could just be your normal menstrual cycle. And I really didn't find much different But as a kind of couple of weeks went on, when most people would still not know they were pregnant, the main sign for me was just the tender boobs. Not horrendous, but you could just feel the weight of them, if that makes sense. So I found out I was pregnant like as early as you could possibly find out. So I've known for a really long time. So I've obviously been able to look out for the symptoms. But again, in my first trimester recap video, which will go out, because I've been noting down my symptoms every single week, I literally run through weeks 1 to 12 what each week of symptoms was. So hopefully that video will help you if that was something that you wanted to know. Yeah, a lot of people did ask me about conceiving. Like someone said, are you using the Flow app and did it help you conceive? But yeah, natural cycles, a game changer. Lots of health and fitness based questions. Someone said, has your eating and training routine changed at all? Somebody said, are you apprehensive about maintaining your healthy lifestyle during pregnancy? I love this question. If you know me, I love a challenge. Like my passions are nutrition and health. So having this journey, which is just like so natural, it's what, so all of these organs are for, it's what our monthly period is, it's what it's all for. I've actually always kind of like looked forward to how I would challenge myself during pregnancy and just how I would kind of take to it in terms of my health and fitness. In the first trimester, or mainly weeks 6 to 9, as I mentioned, you just had to kind of eat what you fancy, and I definitely wasn't bothered about like the quality of my food in that time. It was a case of if it didn't make me feel sick, I will eat it because I'm starving. But since then, to be honest, and for the majority of my pregnancy so far, my diet and fitness hasn't changed at all. Like I'm quite lucky in the fact that I really just crave like fresh foods. Like I just want like fresh like yogurt bowls with fresh fruit. I want like crunchy cold salads. I want like a crunchy cold apple from the fridge. I want like celery juice and water and like strawberry smoothies. Like just lots of cold, fresh, nutritious foods is what I'm fancying. So that is a positive. I don't know whether that will change. Like that's how it's been for the last, I'd say 3 or 4 weeks. So I have just been eating a really sort of balanced, wholesome diet. And obviously I'm really mindful of providing the baby with lots of nutrients. I'm trying to get lots of different colors in my diet. Plenty of protein, lots of good, omegas, and just generally staying hydrated, staying well slept. Like everything I do for myself, I'm just trying to also do for my baby. Like because I do eat healthy and I exercise and try and live a healthy lifestyle, I do all of that because it makes me feel good. So I'm just doing the same, but knowing that I'm kind of doing it for 2, which is fun. As normal, like I get bad body image days, but I get those anyway. It doesn't matter what your physique is like, you will still get bad body image days. They're never a correlation to what you actually look like. So there's some days where I just feel super confident and just like love my bump and just feel amazing. And then other days I just feel a little bit lethargic and not very confident, but that happens before pregnancy. So I do feel like it'll probably just be the same kind of thing. Some days I'll like love it and be embracing it, and other days I'll probably be like, oh, I just want to wear a crop top and not have a huge bump. But it's all part of it, and I'm really looking forward to just like what my postpartum journey will be and just how I kind of navigate through that, and all of that really excites me, and it's what our bodies are made to do. Like I'm not someone who strives to have like crazy abs. Like if you watch my videos, you know that I just want to be fit and healthy and confident and vibrant and energetic, and want to nourish my body and move my body and do everything to make me feel good and not just to like have abs. Like, so yeah, growing a baby is just like fun for me to kind of challenge myself in my kind of health and fitness field. So yeah, that's what my kind of diet is like. But in terms of my training, there was definitely a period where I barely trained at all. I've definitely still kept ticking over, like even in the first trimester when it was difficult. After New York, there was a period of about 2 weeks, like with the jet lag and the sickness and the fatigue, like I was just a zombie probably for a good maybe 10 days. But I've still remained, I'll turn up to the gym and I'll still try and keep the habit alive. That's the most important thing, is just to keep the habit there more than anything else. Sometimes it would just be a case of me turning up and walking on the treadmill for 20 minutes, but it's just to keep it in my routine and keep it as part of my identity, and not to kind of hit any crazy goals, because I'm obviously not trying to hit any crazy physique goals. I just want to be healthy and happy, and I want my baby to be healthy and happy. That's my only goal at the moment. But having said that, I want to maintain some fitness and they'll obviously make it much easier postpartum as well. So my current, and also I do feel completely energetic and fine at the moment training, so I'm just listening to my body. And Jeff is qualifying in pre and postnatal fitness, so obviously that's really helping me. But my current split is I'm doing just a 3 workout a week split, upper, lower and full body at the moment. So I've pulled it back from doing 2 upper and 2 lower, but I also do like a cardio class every week as well. So yeah, I'm currently working out 4 times a week, but I'm also making a conscious effort to get outdoors every day, try and get some sunlight, try and get some vitamin D, and I am supplementing vitamin D as well, but I'm just trying to make a conscious effort to, you know, just move my body and just, you know, remain active but not overdoing it. Like, I'm definitely doing a lot less, but I'm still doing bits. And I may as well just mention, in terms of supplementation, the only supplement I'm taking now is vitamin D, and then obviously I always try and make sure that my diet is really balanced and wholesome. But I did take folic acid every single day for the first 12 weeks, which everybody should do when pregnant, but I did also take it as soon as we started trying. So you're supposed to take it 12 weeks pre-conception and 12 weeks post-conception, folic acid, but due to how quickly we conceived, I only took folic acid for 4 weeks pre-conception and then for the full first trimester. So yeah, folic acid is really important, but right now I'm just supplementing vitamin D, so I thought that was an important thing to mention. Someone did ask, will there be pre and postnatal programs coming to Nourish and Gain? I did kind of just touch on it, but Jeff is qualifying in pre and postnatal fitness. I've done a CPD course as a sort of bolt on to my qualification on pre and postnatal nutrition, so I feel really kind of well versed in that. Basically, anyone who does come and train with us at Nourish and Gain, if they are pregnant or if they do become pregnant, then we can adapt that plan. So it won't be like, this is a pregnancy plan. Everything's tailored to the individual with our online coaching. But yeah, if somebody comes to us and they are pregnant or they are planning to get pregnant, then we can navigate through that together, and we feel fully equipped to do so. And also our yoga instructor who we have at Nourish and Gain is also qualified in pre and postnatal yoga, so that's really exciting. We are planning to actually bring more pre and postnatal yoga options just for those who are either pregnant or planning to get pregnant, just so there's that kind of extra as well, which is cool. Somebody says, have you had to change your diet much? I know I did just kind of run through what my diet is, but obviously there are lots of things that you do have to change and things that you do have to avoid. So for me, just with what my diet was like before, obviously now I'm not having any undercooked meat. So I do love a steak, and there's been many times that I've been out for a steak and it's been, for me, highly upsetting ordering like a medium well steak, and most times have just been like, that wasn't worth it, I should have got the fish. But yeah, I'm not having any, no undercooked red meat, no raw fish. You can have like smoked fish, but no raw fish. Couldn't have brie on Christmas Day. That was highly upsetting, not gonna lie. Obviously not drinking alcohol. I don't drink loads anyway, but I haven't drank since the beginning of October. I mean, I think that's just a given. I did discover no Prosecco around the Christmas period, and that was really, really nice. Oh, I've stopped using retinols in my skincare routine, not using anything with vitamin A and not consuming anything with vitamin A. Just kind of sticking to the standard guidelines, to be honest. Like, as I said, just having a very wholesome, well-rounded diet, but all of the kind of standard pregnancy rules I am very much sticking to, but also just like listening to my body. And as someone, you know, I am qualified, so I'll always look at the backs of packaging and I can make an informed decision myself and what I feel is right for me and my body. And yeah. Oh, caffeine though. I haven't really drank coffee at all since being pregnant, not because you're not really supposed to have loads of caffeine, because you actually can have a few coffees a day actually, but the thought of coffee was hell on earth to me. Like, so like flavoursome and like earthy and just hot, that the thought of that during my peak sickness was absolutely horrendous. And I haven't been having it loads, like a few decafs here and there before the gym, but like a small one, but it's mainly because I just don't want it. So yeah, that's probably like a bit of a dietary change, but yeah, that's just thought I'd mention that. Okay, I'm gonna answer one more, which was, how did you know you were ready? I feel like I will never be, but really do want a family. Honestly, I'm not sure anyone feels completely ready. Like, there are so many different factors that I've thought about in life. Like, we don't own our house. Like, you know, I always thought, you know, you'll own your house and you'll have like plenty of bedrooms, like, you know, for your family, and you'll be able to start a family. And like, no, we don't own our house. Like, you know, I'm self-employed. I always thought, oh, I want to be, you know, really, really financially stable, like have loads of kind of savings and all this, you know, before having a family, but ultimately, like, you can keep thinking things like that forever. Obviously there's certain circumstances where, yeah, you do need to obviously be quite sensible, but just for me, in the circumstance that I'm in now, like, I know that will be fine. Like, we are primal beings, and ultimately our baby does just need food and shelter, like, and love, and we'll have that in abundance. Like, Jeff and I honestly just as solid as anything. Like, obviously we're engaged, we're getting married, but not even just that, like, us together are just so solid, and the way we just, you know, work together in our relationship, and everything's just like so positive in our relationship that I just think we're so well equipped to now face this challenge. Like, you know, we obviously have a business together, which was a challenge that we've had, but now starting a family together, like, I know that we're just solid enough to do it. And I think that's one of the most important things in terms of being ready, is that you and your partner feel unbreakable and feel kind of bulletproof, because if you're having problems in your relationship and then you bring a child into it, that's never going to help. And, you know, all of my friends have kids and they'll tell you how much having a family, you know, having babies will test your relationship. So in that sense, I felt 100% ready. But just in terms of like a financial situation, when do you ever feel financially ready? Like, I feel like just being content with what you've got is great, and your baby will slot into your life. I mean, there's people bringing up babies in all sorts of situations, and I just know that our baby will just have so much love and so much support. And like, my family is so supportive, like my family around the corner, I've got nieces and nephews, and like just the most amazing support network. Like, Jeff is just the most amazing support network, and we've got so much love around us. Like, I know that it just feels unbelievably right. And, you know, I'm 32. Not that age should come into play, but, you know, we're getting married next year, and we're gonna have, you know, a 1-year-old at our wedding, which is just lush. And if we're lucky enough to have more, who knows? It just all feels like the timing just feels really right. And I'm also just so lucky and just feel so grateful that I've spent the last few years like on my arse, essentially, in order to be self-employed and to do the job that I absolutely love. And it's just going so well, and I know I can keep doing that because I work from home, I do my own hours, like, you know, I work on my own terms, which has been amazing during the first trimester, especially being sick and being tired. Like, being able to work on my own schedule has just been absolutely amazing, and that's obviously going to be fantastic now when I've got a newborn. Like, I'm just so glad that all the things that I've put in place over the last few years have kind of led me to now, and now is just the time. Like, now is the time. So yeah, I think only you know when you're ready. No one ever feels like fully ready. Like, obviously I'm going to be brand new to it, but I do feel as ready as can be, and I personally just can't wait. Like, I just can't wait. Like, I'm an impatient person at the best of times, but like, I just love it so much already, which is wild. And yeah, I'm sure that's only going to get more. And yeah, I'm just so excited for this whole chapter and this whole journey. So it's just really, really exciting. But anyway, yeah, that's all the questions that I'm going to answer. They are the most frequently asked questions. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end, that is just legendary. If you did make it to the end, make sure you give it a like because you clearly enjoyed it, and subscribe because I've got lots of fun videos coming. I'm still going to keep it just like health, fitness and fun. Obviously there will be a little bit of my kind of pregnancy journey sprinkled in there because that is what's happening in my life right now, so that's what I'm going to include. But anyway, I'll look forward to seeing you in my next video, which will be finding out that I'm pregnant, so strap yourself in for that one. And yeah, any more questions, just leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer, and I look forward to seeing you soon.